Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. We're in the Imperial Eagle again today, spending the entire week in it, so let's get off the ground, see what we can find, looking for exobiology or any other cool discovery-related things that we can try to locate as we're doing this. Looks like we're going to be able to go ahead and just jump straight into our jump. Mostly trying to stay near our fleet carrier, which is on its maiden voyage out to Colonia. Chose that as my destination because it seemed like an easy place to go for our first trip. Kind of get us into the habit of doing whatever it is that we need to do to keep our fleet carrier running. I'm hoping within the next week or two we're actually going to run out of fuel, so I actually have to start mining because I really want to get into the habit of, replenishing our fuel reserves on our own before we get to Colonia, so that way when we start going out in the deep space, I already have that kind of down as a process, and we don't have to worry about running out of fuel. The Deep Space Carrier series is mostly intended to make it so that we can take all of our ships out into the black and enjoy being able to fly different things around as we look for cool stuff to find. So that's kind of the whole thing that we're doing. The Eagle, I have noticed, has a very small fuel tank, and it makes paying attention to a lot of this stuff a little bit difficult because if we don't get a fuel scoopable star, and especially if we get two of those in a row, we're not going to be able to get back, and we're going to have to self-destruct. So I'm really trying to pay attention to make sure that we don't end up doing that. I want to make sure that we always have ideally, we're always going to a fuel scoopable star. I do have the filter on my route set via the galaxy map to make sure that we're only doing the OGB phone or OGM phone or whatever the acronym is, to make sure that you're only going to fuel scoopable stars, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes it will stick me with a star that doesn't let me fuel scoop, so I'm trying to be real careful with that. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to ask you to help us to reach our next major channel milestone of 10,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. The number doesn't go up unless you actually press the button, so be sure to do that now. Hit the like button to spread the video out to more people so they have a chance to watch. And then when you're done with this video, be sure to head over to the channel itself. We have more than 1,600 other videos of various different games because I like to play a bunch of different stuff. You're definitely going to find something that you're interested in watching, and everything is organized into nice, neat little playlists to make that very easy to find. So be sure to head over to the channel when you're done, find something cool to watch, and helps out with view counts and all that cool stuff, and gives you something to do. Okay, so we're mostly focused on exobiology. So it looks like this one has a close orbit, but I'm not really that worried about that. I really want a fast orbit if we can find that. I am running Elite Observatory, which does help with finding interesting things because the software will pop up with a warning that says, oh, this has this feature, or oh, this has that feature. So it's really nice to have that available so that we can hopefully find something really cool. We did end up finding a close orbit pair of moons that allowed us to land and basically have one body almost filling up the sky of the other, which is, it's a really cool visual. I don't know that I necessarily want to go land on those every time we find them, but it's nice to have the option at least. So I try to remember to always have that running. A lot of times I'll be most of the way through an episode and then I'll remember, oh crap, I forgot to turn on the observatory. The planets in this system are all having geology. This one has a close orbit and is a nested moon. That's kind of cool. But realistically, I'm not that interested in either of the biological. We'll go ahead and go check that out. Why not? I'm trying to be a little bit less picky about the biological sources I go after because I don't want to get to the end of the week and then we didn't end up doing anything because I just skipped over everything. We don't make any money. So, whoa. Oh, I forgot to turn it off. Haha, I wasn't paying attention. So, yeah, as much as it's boring to go grab Fonticula, which is what these are almost all going to be, it's better to just go ahead and go do that so that, we make at least a little bit of money every week. Money's not really that big of a problem for me, but I'm just trying to be a little bit less picky about the sources that I go after. So we probably won't land and scan all of these, but there's 3 different options over here. That's 3 chances to maybe find something a little different. You never know. So we'll scan each one of these, and if it's just bacteria and Fonticula, I'll pass up on the first 2, and then if all 3 of them are that, I'll land on the 3rd one and grab some samples from that. That way we land and get something, but I don't want to land 3 times just for space mushrooms. That's really boring. It's really, really boring. So get close enough to this guy, get this scanned up, and then probably move on to the next one, unless it tells me that it has something else like fumaroles or something. Oops. Alright, we need... I'm going to try to do just 2 probes here. Because we have the expanded probe radius, but I don't think it expands enough to like make it to where I could just use half of what we need. I'm pretty sure we're going to need the other 2. But I just want to take a second here and see just how expanded those are. Like, can I get away with just 2 probes for a 4 probe? Okay, I guess I can. So yeah, Fonticula, bacteria and Fonticula, that's not going to be particularly interesting. I don't know why. Alright, my joystick is like really... Did my control scheme get messed up or something? Because I'm supposed to have a fair bit of... That's the yaw axis, the roll axis. Oh. Okay, hold on here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh yeah, I had this one up higher. Because the yaw for me is much more sensitive. Okay, let's try to apply that, and hopefully we'll stop having this excessive... Wow, man. The problem is that my joystick, it's biased to the right, to the left, I think, so... Like, I'm just, like, right now, I'm just holding it against the spring, and this is rotating it, but I hold it against the spring to the right, and it's not doing anything. So it's just... A lot of it's just, number one, it's an Extreme 3D Probe, cheapy $40 joystick, but that's not really that bad because I've had this for years and years. It's just kind of annoying because I leave my hand on the joystick and... What am I looking for? Oh, we gotta find the other one. Sorry, I got distracted by the joystick moving around. Let's see. We had 3 of these together, yeah. We have 3 of these together. These are almost certainly all going to be the same thing. It's going to be it's going to be... My brain is just not working because I got distracted. It's going to be bacteria and Fonticula. Oh my god. Okay. So, get over here to this guy, scan it. Then we'll head over to the other one, scan that one, go down, land, grab a grab a sample of at least the Fonticula, if nothing else. I realize I'm passing up several biological options here, but as I've said, these are the boring biological options, and spending the time trying to go down and scan them is just like... So, yeah. If I can get it to where the joystick will stop rotating as I'm resting my hand on it, that's better for me, but... the reality is that I need a joystick upgrade. I need to re-upgrade my joysticks. All of my hardware at this point is several years old, and these joysticks here, I've had these joysticks for... I don't even know how long I've had these joysticks. I've had them for a very long time. They're good, solid entry-level joysticks, especially if it's a bacteria Fonticula. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Expecting this next one to be exactly the same thing, right? Yeah, biological, over there. This one's on the other side of this planet. They're good. They're excellent entry-level, cheapy joysticks for whatever you want to use them for. You know, I use it in DCS because the joystick for my X52, my Logitech X52 decided to stop working. So I'm using this for my stick, and then I'm still using the X52 throttle in when I do the DCS stuff. I'm trying to work myself back towards actually doing DCS content again. I have been working on that F-18 flight instruction campaign. I've gotten about halfway through re-verifying that all the missions and stuff work. It's actually harder to do than you think because you have to make sure that all the triggers and everything work the way that they're supposed to, but and I know I need to get back into actually doing DCS videos again because it's something that a lot of people have an interest in, and I love flight simulators, so DCS is much more interesting than Microsoft Flight Simulator, just from from doing things in the game standpoint. So I need to get back into that again. And you know, a lot of it is just I spent all that money on the F-18 back in the day, and it doesn't make sense to not do that. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, just over time, joysticks wear out and they stop working the way they used to. It's not as tight as they used to be. The springs aren't as tight as they used to be. The sensors aren't as precise as they used to be, and eventually they run out. I bought a pair of the Extreme 3D Pros because when I'm doing high precision space stuff in this game, I prefer a dual joystick control. Hold on, I really have to focus on landing or I'm going to slam into the atmosphere. It's one of those things where almost always, if I stop paying attention, then right at the wrong moment, I lose my focus, and then I end up slamming into the atmosphere. So I gotta be a little bit careful. I think we're good now. I think we can full throttle it in. We'll enter the glide. Yeah, we're fine. When I'm doing precision stuff in this game, where I need super fine control over my thrust axes, I'll use my left hand with I'll use my pitch or my orientation control with the right hand, and my vertical, my thrusting axis controls with the right hand, or with the left hand, sorry. So I find that works well for me, and you know, you don't really need an expensive HOTAS setup to do that. Just buy a pair of the Extreme 3D Pros or anything that has a twist on it and a decent enough number of buttons. So we are looking for Ponticula. Whoa, graphical lag, crap. Hate it when that happens. Everything freezes for a second, but your momentum doesn't stop, so you have no ability to control anything or react or whatever. You just have to sit and wait for the graphics to come back, and then hopefully you didn't run into the ground. Anyways, what I'm trying to get to is that, you know, having a really high precision setup for this game doesn't require an expensive HOTAS or anything like that. You can just get a couple of cheapy joysticks that have, as long as they have the twist function to use as another axis, then you're good. Because like for this game, obviously I use the, I gotta get the axis names correct. I use the x-axis for roll, the y-axis for pitch, the twist axis for yaw in my right hand. And then for thrusting, I use the X in my left joystick. In my left hand, I use the X-axis for left and right thrust, my Y-axis for forward and backward thrust, and then the twist is for up and down thrust. That's how I do that. Unfortunately, both of my sticks are very old, and both of my sticks have a lot of drift in the sensors now. So I basically have to turn my... If I'm going to use my sticks, I basically have to turn the dead zone on them really, really high to get them to not have unintended inputs. It's kind of annoying. And since I don't really do much in the way of precision flying anymore, because I got bored with combat really quick, and that's really the only time I actually use that is when I'm doing combat-related stuff. Or, you know, if we were doing racing, I might pull the second stick back out because you need some precision flying for that. But for the most part, I don't really need the second stick. I can control my thrust directions pretty comfortably with the keyboard, just using the keyboards for that. So I don't really need anything for... I don't really need another stick for that. So I've just been kind of living with the one good joystick that I've had, but it seems to be starting to kind of die too. So maybe reaching the point where I have to suck it up and... Well, and the other thing is that I kind of want to just... Rather than doing that, I do want to get either a replacement X52 or like if I could find a decently priced better option, that would be nice too. But the X52 is a really nice option for somebody who just doesn't have the money to buy something a little bit more premium, like the Virpil stuff or the higher quality Logitech stuff or whatever. Like I've never had the kind of money where it made sense for me to spend $400 on a joystick setup. That's just not. Even when I had a decent job, that was just not an option for me. So I'm always in the back of my mind trying to think of value versus what am I getting out of this. All right, next system en route. Looks like we're gonna have to boost out of here because it is on the other side. Yep. So, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, trying to remember what buttons to press to do what. So yeah, let's get out of here. We'll turn around. We have enough time to go through one or two more systems to see if we find anything cool. So we'll get ourselves out of the atmosphere, get our frame shift drive started, and then hop into the next system. So yeah, for my DCS stuff, I mean, I'd love to be able to get like one of those really nice, awesome HOTAS setups where you have the dual throttle controls, and that would be nice to have, but those are also all very expensive. Like to get a decent dual throttle control, I think the minimum decent one for that is like $250+, and I'm just like, I don't have money for that. I don't really have money to replace my equipment right now, much less buy something super premium. So I think I'm probably going to end up having to do the same thing I did last time I got a HOTAS and find another used X52, because you know it didn't really last that long, but it lasted long enough to make it worth the money I ended up spending on it. So probably going to end up going to do that again. Or honestly, all I really need is just to find another stick. So if I can just find a replacement stick for the system, for the setup that I have, I'd be pretty content with that too. I found a few online for, about the price that I would have to pay to buy a brand new one of these X3D Pros. So I'll probably end up doing that when I have the ability to. All right. Move this over here. Oh, come on. I always have to go back and check when I miss, because that adaptive zoom warning takes a long time to go away. It would be nice if they offered the option to turn off those warnings like that, so that I didn't have to wait when I miss. Because like if you press the button and you're not quite on the target, you get that adaptive zoom failed warning, and it stays there for an unreasonable amount of time. And I'm like, can you go away so I can recheck this and move on with my scanning? This already takes long enough without having to wait for you to do that. All right, so we got some geological activity on some of these, but again, these are all just icy bodies, and I don't even know why I'm wasting my time scanning them, because we just finished doing Fonticula, and I'm not doing another set of Fonticula in this episode, so whatever. We'll move on to that. We'll do a couple more systems, and if we don't find anything cool, we'll go ahead and be done for the day. I'm not really all that worried about finding anything super expensive. We've had a fair bit of luck in the last couple of weeks finding some first footfall stratum tectonicus, and that makes a crap ton of money. So, and the other part of it is just I have several other episodes to record today, so I don't generally try to make these episodes really long. I have to imagine that, especially from your guys' side, right around 20 minutes is probably pushing the interest level. So I don't necessarily try to. I've gotten to the point where I don't necessarily try to push these to the closer to the 30-minute mark, because I have to imagine it gets kind of boring sitting here watching me scan things for 20 minutes. The only thing I would imagine that keeps it interesting is if I have interesting things to talk about, and you know, I don't always have interesting things to talk about. Yeah, there's always that. I mean, obviously, if we found something really cool and interesting, that would make it more fun, but we don't always... Oh, we're done. Air conditioner turned on. I can't hear my game anymore, so I didn't hear him say system scan complete. That's all right, though. We're going to try to get this done, and then, yeah. Find out what's in the next system. I think it would be really cool to come up with some sort of flight control setup that combines some kind of like a true 6-axis control setup, or 6-axis? Yeah. I think that's the term for being able to control all of the directions. So a single device that's capable of doing all 6 axes of control. I keep thinking of some kind of a setup that's more like a flight yoke for an aircraft, but then has a separately rotating option for the other axes that you need to do. So something along the lines of, say, you push forward to thrust forward, pull backwards to thrust backwards, you slide it to the left to slide left, slide it to the right to slide right, and then lift it up to go up, lift it or push it down to go down, and then the handles that you're holding on to have a separate twisting mechanism that allows you to, you know, pitch, roll, and then I'm not sure how you would do yaw. Maybe some kind of push backwards, or just one of the hands could turn to do yaw. I don't know, something like that. I think that would be a really interesting way to, and I think it would be interesting because then you could also use that same setup for, you know, flights, for regular flight sim stuff. So I don't know. That's my thought process on that. It's an idea I've had in the back of my head, but I don't know how you would implement something like that. It would be really complex and probably prone to breaking a lot just because of the way you would have to put that together. So we have some high metal content stuff here. That one had geological activity on it, which is cool, but not really what we're looking for. If we can find high metal content with biological sources on it, that would be pretty sweet. That would be a whole lot of money, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that on this one. So, yeah. If we can find any biology on any of this, that would be cool. Let's see. What do we... There we go. The system scan is complete. I think... let's just go ahead and move on into the next system. Maybe we'll get lucky and find some biology. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a sort of... all-in-one kind of 6-axis control flight system that I've had in my head for years, but it's just I don't have the knowledge and creativity, and I honestly just don't have the motivation to try to sit down and actually figure something like that out. Tinkering and engineering with things is not exactly... I'm good at process improvements and things like that, but not necessarily inventing things that are physical in nature. Working with my hands is not a strong... I don't have the patience for it. I get really impatient, especially when things just don't work the way I expect them to, and then I have to spend a bunch of extra time trying to force it to happen. I get some serious... Like, I get the construction equivalent of road rage when it comes to dealing with things like that, so I just leave that stuff alone. It would be cool if somebody could come up with a prototype for something like that, though, and you know, take that idea and run with it. If you do, please send me a free version of it, since you got the idea from me. Okay, come on. All right, this is going to be our last system. Never mind. The next system, we have to do some scanning. The next system that we're able to scan will be our last system. Get out of here, do our jump, and away we go. So yeah, it's a lot of speculation about what the new feature is going to be that they're going to announce the end of this month, I believe. I think the leading candidate, based off the conversation we had during the live stream, is probably base building, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, I have no interest in building a base, which means that for the second time in a row, a major release for the game is going to come out, and it has nothing to do with anything I have any interest in. Now, obviously, that could be absolutely wrong. The new feature could be a lot of different things, but especially because Odyssey didn't go as well as the developers hoped that they would. I could see how doing base building to try to make up for that would be something that they would do, which is going to suck because I have no interest in that particular kind of activity. That's going to suck. It's going to suck hard. All right, so we have a bunch of high metal content worlds here. Let's see if maybe we can get lucky and have some Stratum Tectonicus pop up for us. Probably not, but you never know. So we have a bunch of different bodies here, and they're all in the rocky body / high metal content range, so that's good. It means that we have a decent chance of actually finding some interesting biology here. It would just be nice if they all stayed right within the same frequency spectrum, because it's annoying having to constantly shift it back and forth. I have made mention many times that this full spectrum system scanner mini game that they developed is one of my least favorite things about exploration, and I really wish that they would completely do away with it and come up with a more straightforward system for this, because it's just not fun. It's not a fun thing to do. Well, we got some geological activity. At least we're finding something happening on the planets instead of just dead bodies, so that's good. I have proposed... Ooh, okay. 6 biology planet. So what we'll do, we'll go land on that one, and then next episode we'll go and scan all of that. So I'm the kind of person who I don't think you should complain unless you have a solution to the problem, or at least you either have a solution to the problem or there's no solution to the problem and you're complaining just a vent. I like to propose solutions when I see things that I don't like and I think that there's a better way to do it. I have, in previous videos, I'm not going to go into it now, I have proposed replacement systems for the, or a replacement system for the system scanner, but, you know, I'm just one dude who has one dude running a very small channel and nobody cares what I think. Least of all the developers. Okay, so we have the Super Cruise Assist activated. We'll go ahead, we'll find out what's on the planet, and then we'll go and scan in the next episode, because we just don't have time. We're barely going to have time to scan this, go and land, and be done before the time runs out on this episode. So let's get over here and find out what's there. And then you guys can come back tomorrow and find out what exactly those, what exact versions of these things were. Okay. Now I'm curious that for a six probe planet, can I just do the 4? Can I just do the 4 on the top, bottom, left, and right? Is this a 6? Nope, this one just needs 4. So we'll do the 2 probes we did last time, and then ideally that should be it, right? Ideally that should be it. And then I wonder if we could just get away with a single probe for a 2 probe planet. That would be cool. Just start to figure out exactly how much it takes to get these done.
Scanned by 50%.
All right, so we have Alioida, Bacteria, Fungoida, Stratum, this is going to be the regular, the cheaper version of the Stratum. Frutexa and Tussock. I'm far more interested in going after the Alioida, I think, so we'll try to land near that. Let's get the Super Cruise Assist turned off. Let's get the Super Cruise Assist. Okay. Yeah, the interface for this game definitely needs an overhaul to make it much, much, much more responsive, because it's really frustrating when you have muscle memory on the key binds that you want to press. You'll go through and rapidly click them, but the interface doesn't keep up with you, so you end up having to redo things. It's kind of frustrating. I won't say it's kind of frustrating. It's super frustrating because you turn off the Super Cruise Assist. You think you turned off the Super Cruise Assist, then you approach the body, and all of a sudden it just yanks you off in a different direction. You're like, whoa, whoa, what's going on here? Oh, the Super Cruise actually didn't turn off, and now you have to go back and do it again. So, especially when you're trying to do precision approaches to land on a specific part of the planet, it's jarring and incredibly frustrating to have the control yanked away and you just fling off in another direction. You're like, it's really like, it's like somebody coming up and smacking you on the back of the head. It's really irritating. Okay. Finished getting down into our glide. And then ideally, when we get down here, we'll be able to go ahead and just find something to scan. And hopefully I will remember tomorrow that we actually need to scan this planet, that we didn't actually scan it yet. That's going to suck if I go in tomorrow and I'm like, all right, let's start our new episode and get off on our journey. And I completely forget that we have 6 biological sources to scan here. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. Be sure to click the like button to spread the video out to more people so that they have a chance to watch. Subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member if you'd like early access to videos, among other perks. And here we go again with slamming into the ground. Or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. So again, thank you very much for watching this episode of our Elite Dangerous Deep Space Carrier series. Be sure to come back for the next installment of our adventure. I'm trying to get to where you guys can see the ship on the ground before we leave. And I will see you for the next one.